Welcome back, everybody, to another live reaction here at I'm Not a Coach. I'm your host, Dave Huerta, and we are here for the Houston Texans and the Green Bay Packers going off. This is going to be one of the best matchups of not just this week. I think it could, if it lives up to the hype, this could be one of the greatest games of this season. We got two young quarterbacks, Jordan Love, C.J. Stroud. Last year, both of their careers started last year. Jordan's Love, his first time as a Green Bay starter, had a massive second half to end his first season as a starter. Looked like one of the hottest quarterbacks in the NFL. C.J. Stroud, from the get-go, was just looking like one of the greatest rookie quarterbacks in the NFL. And there was talk of if these teams could win in the postseason and potentially meet up in the Super Bowl, it would be one of the biggest surprises and treats. Well, we're not going to get a Super Bowl, but today we are going to see C.J. Stroud and Jordan Love. Not only do they have great quarterbacks, they have two of the best head coaches in the NFL. Matt LaFleur, one of the best offensive minds, and DeMeco Ryans, one of the best offensive-minded head coaches in the NFL. Opening kickoff is going to be returned by Keyshawn. It's at the 30, 35, 40, and he is going to be out across the 43 down to about the 44. And, Keyshawn getting tackled out of bounds in the Texans' sidelines, and there is already an early flag. Hopefully it's not on Green Bay. We will see. And it's going to be a holding penalty on Green Bay, so that will wipe away a big return by Keyshawn. But once again, talked about the quarterbacks, talked about the head coaches already, but we are talking about also some very good defenses, Houston and the Packers. Neither of them are, top 5, top 10, or some of them are actually in the top 10, but not top 5, but they're opportunistic, and they have playmakers all over that secondary. So I am expecting some tough defense here. I guarantee you both are going to be dialing up some nice blitzes. First play, drop back, fakes the handoff, throwing to his left, and it's going to be a big catch and run by Romeo Doubs, and he is going to be out across the 50 there, and that's going to be a huge gain for the Packers here. Sorry, not across the 50, across the 40. Just a great strike by Love, giving Romeo enough room to kind of turn up field and get some extra yardage. Romeo Doubs getting his catches early. Shotgun. It's going to be a handoff up the middle here to Jacobs, who's going to barrel through. Going to gain only about 3 yards, but some tough running there. And these defensive coordinators, Jeff Hafley and, my God, I'm blanking on his name, but the Houston Texans DC, man, both very young guys. Both defenses are really, I would say, on track for where they want to be. Some improvement. The Texans defense was not bad last year, but they were relying heavily on putting up a lot of yardage and points on offense. I think now their defense is kind of, has that extra draft. They really hit it hard. I think they're starting to improve. Same thing with the defense on the Packers. So 2nd and 6 in the shotgun. 2 receivers stacked up on the left side here. It's going to be another handoff to Jacobs, and he's going to be out across the 50, down just inside the 50, short of the 49. All right, empty set, 3rd and 3, ball at the 50. 3 receivers to his right. Jordan dropping back, throwing quickly, and it's going to get picked off. Bad decision by Jordan. There was some tight coverage there, and the Texans are going to be inside the 50. Jordan Love intercepted. Oh, man, that is a tough one there. That is a tough one. I'm not sure exactly what Jordan was watching on that one. There was two guys on it. The first guy actually had a chance at it. The ball kind of popped up, kind of lingered in the air, and Hewitt is the one that comes away with the interception. Once again, trying to get it to Wicks. That's a film room one, I can tell you right now. That corner literally just let his receiver go, cut inside. Of the three receivers to the right, Wicks was the most inside. So that defender just kind of, boom, just cut inside, batted that ball, kind of popped it up in the air, and the defender that was actually covering Wicks is the one that came away with the pick. So it'll be 1st and 10 at the 11. It's going to be a handoff. It's going to go to the right side here. Green Bay doing a great job, only getting a yard on the play. So definitely not how you want to start out here if you're a Green Bay. Interception. All right. Stroud under center here. Receiver in motion to the right. Fakes the handoff. Looking, rolling to his right. And throws it in the end zone. And it's going to be incomplete. Keyshawn Nixon on the coverage. Trying to get it to Tank Dell. Tank falling down. Trying to extend. And unable to haul it in. So that'll be 3rd and 9 at the 10. That was a good throw by CJ. Great throw. Receiver in motion to the right. Two stacked up receivers. It's going to be a 2x2 stacked up. Preston Smith looks like he jumped early here, and it's going to be an incomplete pass, but I think it's going to be on the Packers. Pass was intended for Tank Dell. He caught it out of bounds at the back of the end zone. We had a lot of jawing by the Packers defensive backfield here. There was a little bit of a skirmish just before the game started, about 10 and 15 minutes there. I think it looks like it was Nixon and Alexander was getting in the face of Stephon Diggs, a former Minnesota Viking. So, unfortunately, it is encroachment on the Packers, so that'll move the ball a little bit closer and make this a more manageable 3rd and 4. Ball at the 5. 3 receivers stacked up, bunched up on the left side. Stroud changing things at the line here. He's going to be in the shotgun. Looking. Pressure. Rashawn Gary chasing him down, and the ball is going to be overthrown, and that's going to be a 4th down. Great job by the Packers defense. So heading into this game, the Packers defense is 20th in the NFL in terms of red zone defense. They're a little over 57%, which means they're giving up a touchdown on 57% of the red zone trips of the opposing team. The Texans are actually 28th. They're giving up over 68% in terms of giving up a touchdown in the red zone. So once again, the big thing for this Packers offense is getting into the red zone and maximizing, something they haven't done efficiently throughout the year. So hopefully with this team that is giving up, towards the bottom of the NFL, hopefully they could take advantage of it. Once again, minimizing the turnovers, which they haven't done a whole lot, thankfully, especially fumbles. They haven't really had many. But, man, another interception to start out the game. But the Packers defense, something that let's be honest, if we would not have seen throughout the years with Joe Barry, bad situation inside the 15, down at the 11, able to hold a very explosive offense to just 3 points. And there is a flag here It's going to be on the Packers. It looks like it's going to be unsportsmanlike conduct, I believe. It's going to be on number 55. All right, Green Bay's got to get it a little bit together here. So 11:48 left in the first quarter. Let's change the score here to 3. Camera. So yeah, both of these defenses not the best in terms of the red zone, but Green Bay, 20 should be able to hold them, in which they did. So that actually brings down that percentage down a little bit here. But Jordan needs to kind of calm down, find his reads. If it's there, great. Don't try to force it. I get it. You're trying to get it to Wicks, who's coming into the season. He had a lot of hype. This whole receiving crew had a whole lot of hype, and Wicks has been probably the most disappointing thus far. Not because necessarily his lack of production. It's actually the lack of being able to catch the ball. And that one was not on Wicks. He ran his route properly. It was just not a great read by Jordan. But Wicks has not been able to really be as consistent at catching the ball. You can tell a lot of times he is looking to make a run before the ball is even secure. So that's one thing, and I get it. You're trying to get him into a rhythm. If Wicks can get into, get his confidence up, get him to really feel that he can actually make an impact on this offense, which he has yet to really make consistently this season, that's only going to make you better. We already know what Jaden Reed can do. We know what Romeo Doubs can bring. And we've even seen Christian Watson make some massive catches down the field. We've seen Bo Melton. He's kind of used like Jaden Reed a little bit, especially when Jaden is either hurt or needs a little bit of a breather. They use Bo in a very similar fashion. A lot of jet sweeps, a lot of motions, things like that. Get him the ball underneath the coverage and make him kind of let him use that speed and his athleticism to get some extra yardage. Wicks is more of a possession type guy. He needs to be able to catch it when he is a little bit further down the field, almost like a Romeo Doubs a little bit. But obviously they have yet to be able to get him going, so I think they're trying to not necessarily force the ball to him, but I think they're trying to get him into rhythm, get his confidence up, and I think Jordan just needs to be able to, hey, that'll come. You just got to find the open receiver, and if it's there, great. If not, just throw it away. So luckily, only 3 points were given up on that one. And the kickoff is going to be a sweep kick, but it's going to go out of bounds. So that is going to be great field position for the Packers here. All right, once again, still 11:48 left in the first quarter. Green Bay will get the ball at the 25. Quick throw to Jaden Reed in motion to the left. It's going to gain about 4 or 5 on the play. So right now, C.J. Stroud averaging over 270 yards, most in the NFL through the last 15 games. And Jordan Love tied for the lead in the NFL over the last 2 seasons with 44 touchdowns. So very explosive quarterbacks, very talented quarterbacks. So 2nd and 6, ball at the 29. It's going to be a nice little handoff to Bo Melton on the right side. It's going to be a little end around, and it's going to go absolutely nowhere there. Great job by the Houston Texans. All right, so it'll be a 3rd and 7 here. Texans showing pressure. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. Jordan looking, pressure, dumps it down to Jacobs, and he is going to get about 5 yards on the play. He'll be about a yard and a half short of the first down. All right. Daniel Whalen is sent out to punt the ball away. So right now we are seeing Green Bay starting out a little slow here. First drive ends in an interception. Second drive, a quick 3-and-out. And the punt will be down at about the 19, maybe the 20. So heading into this game, the Packers have I believe the 8th best run defense in the NFL. So they've been very solid, something that we have not seen in Green Bay for a long time. They are not one of the best. Unfortunately, they are one of the worst passing defenses in the NFL. But if you look at kind of the teams who are towards the bottom in terms of pass defense, I mean, you got the Vikings, you got the Lions, you got the Ravens. So teams that are not only playing very well, but actually their defenses are not that bad. I believe, and all those teams that I named are also in the top 10 in terms of run defense. The Ravens are actually number 1, Vikings are number 2, and I believe the Lions are actually 3rd as well. And both of those, once again, all 3 of those teams that I just named, towards the bottom in terms of pass defense. So it looks like early on, some of the best teams, what they're doing well is running the ball well, stopping the run, and being willing to give up a little bit of extra yardage in the passing game as long as it doesn't lead to a touchdown, which comes into red zone, turnovers, things like that. So you have no problem. Hey, yeah, you can get all the yardage from between the 20 to about the 40 of our own, But once you get there, either a turnover is going to happen, or we're going to stop you, and we're going to let you kick a field goal, or maybe even force you to punt. So that's one thing that we've been seeing so far with some of the better teams in the NFL: stopping the run, letting the passing game go until they tighten up, play some tougher defense, and it's been working. Packers are part of that same mold. They're in the top 10, stopping the ball. They're one of the best teams in the NFL running the ball. But when it comes to stopping the pass, towards the bottom, we'll see if that's what's going to happen here today. Obviously, C.J. Stroud, we've talked about it, one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Big arm, can extend plays, has some great playmakers. Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, guys like that. Even Joe Mixon is going to be possibly involved a lot in this game, in the passing game. So expect something from there. Hopefully, so far, the Green Bay Packers, hopefully they can minimize those explosive plays, get the ball in better field position for that offense, who is kind of struggling, starting out a little bit slow. We've seen it before. So 1st and 10, under center, throws it over the middle, finds a wide open tight end there. That is Dalton Schultz. It's going to be near the 50-yard line. Big gain. And we talked about it. Minimize the explosive plays. Tighten up once they get past the 50-yard line. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 48 of Houston. Shotgun, dropping back. Rashawn Gary immediately gets back there to take down C.J. Stroud for a huge sack. And Oh, that's why the Texans' right tackle just literally tripped over his own feet there. Yep, looks like he stepped on, might have been his tight end's foot there as he was as the tight end was going out to the flat. So easy sack for Rashawn there. 2nd and 16, we'll take it. And it's going to be a good throw to Dalton Schultz. He was out there on the flat to the right, and he gained most of the yardage that they needed to get a first down. He's going to be maybe a yard or two short. Oh, sorry, that was Stover, the other tight end, number 87. So it'll be 3rd and 1. I'm expecting a run here. Under center, it's going to be fakes the handoff, looking down the field. Lucas Van Ness putting a little bit of pressure on Stroud, and he's going to just run to the right for a first down, gain of about 3. Packers pass rush, very, very slow, almost no pressure on CJ thus far in his dropbacks. Even the sack wasn't really necessarily a traditional sack. Once again, the offensive lineman just tripped and fell. All right. CJ under center, receiver in motion to the left. It's going to be a toss to the left to Joe Mixon. Lucas Van Ness diving, unable to make the tackle, but Packers doing a great job of stringing that play out. Gain of only about 2 or 3. All right. Under 7 minutes left in the first quarter. Clock is running. It's at 6:50, 6:49, 6:48, 6:47, 6:46, 6:45. If you want to sync this game up with me. So 2nd and 8, ball at the 38 of Green Bay. Green Bay showing pressure here. They're trying to stop the run, and they do a decent job of it. Gain of only maybe 2. That was Damian Pierce. Nearly got past almost everybody, or at least the initial 7 there. It'll be 3rd and 6, ball at the 36. Green Bay, once again, showing pressure. They got 7 on the line. And they send McKinney on a blitz, and he gets to C.J. Stroud on 3rd down. And that is a sack, and phenomenal job by Xavier McKinney, completely unblocked from the left side there. C.J. Stroud unable to see it, blindside hit. Great work. Once again, what we talked about this is just before this drive. Packers defense towards the bottom and pass, but once again they tighten up once you get past the 50. Ravens, Lions, Vikings, they all do this. They're willing to give up some extra yardage in the passing game, and then they'll tighten up as long as they can stop the run. That way, you're not dictating the clock. You're not dictating the down and distance. They're going to force you to find open receivers when they drop back 7 or 8. And we saw it there. Looked like it was going to be a huge drive for the Texans. Big play on the first drive, big passing play. And then another one, I think, on the 3rd or 4th play. Another one to their tight end. They were looking good. Packers defense tightened up, doing a great job dialing up the blitz at the right time and bringing down C.J. Stroud twice on that drive. 2 sacks for the Packers there. So I'm going to be expecting a little something different here for the Packers. I think they're going to put the ball on the ground, see if what they can get there. Once again, they're one of the better teams at getting some rushing yards. I think they've tried to be aggressive on their first two drives. It's kind of come back to bite them a little bit. So I'm expecting this to be a running right up the middle here, especially maybe the first play, kind of set the tone. And then getting some better situations for Jordan Love when he needs to pass here. The pressure has been okay for the Packers on at least on offense from what the Texans are giving them. Couple plays here. There's some pressure in Jordan's face clearly, but nothing massive. They have yet to sack him. I don't think they've yet to even get a big hit on him. So I'm expecting a run, but we'll see what they have. So Green Bay will start with the ball at the 8-yard line, 1st and 10. Heavy set. It's going to be a run from Jacobs, who's going to barrel through, break a tackle, and just keep those legs churning. He's going to be out across the 11 down to about the 12. Second and 6. Quick throw to Tucker Kraft, who stays on his feet, and he is going to get the first down. Great job by Tucker Kraft. Texans, man, they are tackling him really low. First one hit him right in the thigh, was able to stay on his feet, get the extra yardage, first down, and then took a huge hit just right on the side of his knee. Thankfully, his knee was not, or his feet were not stuck to the turf there. Jesus. All right, 1st and 10, ball at the 23. Christian Watson in motion to the left. It's going to be a handoff to Jacobs, who breaks a tackle, and he's going to be out across the 35, down at around the 36. First down for the Packers. Right up the middle, Jacobs, 4 for 25 so far in this game. So he is, 25 yards on just 4 carries. Might be time to give him a few more here. Great blocking for the Packers, man. Holy cow. All right, clock it at 3:15. Tight end in motion on the left here. Jaden Reed going across the formation to the left. Another handoff for Jacobs, who's going to be around the 40-yard line, gain of about 4 on the play. So obviously Jacobs has not been explosive at every single game, but he's 5th in the NFL in rushing yards. There's not much you can ask for a running back, in my opinion. So 2nd and 6, quick throw to Romeo Doubs, holds on to it with tight coverage, and he is going to be out across the 50. And Romeo, very, very, I don't want to say somber, but just very stoic every time he gets up. You can tell he's trying to prove a point to everybody. He was Singletary was on the coverage there. Great move, man, just to get a little extra space, make the throw a little bit easier for Jordan. So 1st and 10 at the 50-yard line. Christian in motion to the left, fakes the handoff. Jordan Love needing to scramble and gets the ball away, throws it down on the turf. Thankfully, it was a very low throw because otherwise that would have been another interception. that time the Houston Texans definitely had some pressure. That might have been their best pass rush so far. Again, I know what Matt LaFleur is gonna do, wants to do. He wants to really put pressure on this offense to really key in on the passing game. But man, you got to run the ball, man. Run the ball on the first two downs. Get them. It's going to be another pass here, 2nd and 10. Quick throw to Jacobs. He's got a blocker, and he's going to get about 5 yards on the play. So 3rd and 5 coming up. Basically a swing route there by Jacobs to the left. Had Tucker Craft blocking for him and was able to get around the 45. So Green Bay still not in field goal territory for McManus. Two receivers to the right. Tucker Craft in motion from the left to the right. Jacobs in the backfield in the shotgun. Throw. Great one. That is to Bo Melton. Gain of about 8 yards to the left side. First down, Green Bay. Nice little, kind of like an inside move out. All right, 30 seconds left in this first quarter. This will probably be the final play. Reed in motion, nice little orbit motion heading to the right. It's going to be a nice little end around to Watson, who is going to be upended in the backfield. It's going to be a loss of about 3 there. So Reed coming to the left side, then orbited around Jordan Love, who handed him the ball. Then he tossed it to Watson, who was heading to the left. But the Texans defense doing a great job of picking that play up, knowing what was happening, and just bringing him down for a loss. So that is the end of the first quarter here in Green Bay. Texans up 3-0. All right, so it'll be a 2nd and long here for the Packers, just outside of field goal range. So these next couple plays, trying to get into that range. Obviously, they're not playing for field goals here. We're looking for touchdowns. So I'm expecting something along the boundary here. Get out of bounds, because I think the Texans are keeping that middle of the field very closed off. You can tell that Jordan has not been able to really get much going into the middle of the field outside of that Romeo Doubs throw. That kind of got them into midfield there. All right. Second and 14, 4 rushing plays, 5 passing plays so far on this drive. Remember, this drive started all the way inside the 10 down at the 8. So empty set for the Packers. 3 receivers to the right. Tucker Kraft spread out all the way to the left here with Christian Watson in the slot. Quick pass, gets it out to, looks like Dontavian Wicks, who is going to get slammed. Oh, no, sorry, that is Jaden Reed, who's going to get basically suplexed. And that is going to be a penalty for the Houston Texans there. That's going to give the Packers a quick first down. So unnecessary roughness on Hewitt, who is actually the linebacker who picked off Jordan Love in the first drive for the Packers. Yeah, he just just suplexed Jaden Reed. I mean, what is this, WWE here, man? My God. Luckily, Reed, he looks like he's fine. He popped up pretty quickly. So, 1st and 10, ball at the 20 now after the 15-yard personal foul there. So, handoff to Jacobs, who is going to be taken down after a gain of just 1 on the play. And it seems like it's like a windy, very windy day in Green Bay. Second and 9, single receiver to the right. Jordan looking, throwing it out, and that is to Dontavian Wicks for a gain of about 5. And we're going to see if he actually held on to the ball here. It looks like they did. So 3 receivers to the right. Tucker Kraft in the slot. Jacobs in motion and motioning back to the backfield. Jordan changing some things at the line. All right. Shotgun. Single receiver to the left here. And it's a throw to Tucker Kraft in the end zone. Holy cow, man. That thing came out with some smoke. Touchdown Green Bay here. Woo! And these are the throws that anytime I'm like, man, Jordan, man, he's making some here. Those are the throws where I'm like, oh, this guy is just gonna be a great quarterback. I'm like, no, we're gonna be fine. As long as this guy is healthy and he's under contract, we're going to be fine in Green Bay with Jordan Love as our quarterback. And the kick is up, and it is good. Brandon McManus, number 17. With his first kick as a Green Bay Packer, it comes as an extra point, and it is right down the middle. Green Bay on top, 7-3, 13-16, left in the half. Come on. All right, I will be right back here for this next defensive series for the Green Bay Packers. All right, we are back here. Jordan Love, 17 straight games with a touchdown. Last guy to do that was Aaron Rodgers back in from 2015 to 2016. Brandon McManus's kick is out the back of the end zone. And yes, if you haven't really heard the news, the Green Bay Packers released Braden Narvison, the kicker, the rookie kicker, who they picked up from the Titans, and whose wife was a Green Bay Packer fan. So unfortunately, they let him go after just too many inconsistencies. Was leading the NFL with 5 missed kicks, especially after last week as well. So they brought in a veteran kicker. First pass for C.J. Stroud is going to be incomplete. Looked like him and the receiver were on the different pages in terms of the depth of that that route. So it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Houston Texans here. Ball at the 30. Tight end in motion. 2 receivers stacked up on the right side. Green Bay reading that, and they stop him after a very minimal gain, maybe only 1. And, oh no. Oh boy. We have an injured Packer that is Quay Walker, and he did not look good. His arms looked frozen. Oh man. It looked like his body was just unfortunately seized up on him, and he was on the ground. So obviously, commercial break here. Hopefully, Quay is okay. I did not mean for that to rhyme. It's not really the time. But yeah, hopefully he's okay. Ah, man. It kind of goes back to what some of the some like older players kind of talk about when it comes to injuries. It's like if you see a guy get up and he's kind of hurt, but he's able to get to the sidelines. Hey, it is football. It's a physical game, but it's never good when a guy cannot get up. That's when you know it's bad. That's when the competitiveness kind of takes a pause for a second, and all you're caring about is hopefully these guys are okay. So. But let's talk about Brandon McManus. Obviously, had a long story career with the Denver Broncos. I think he was actually their kicker when they won the Super Bowl. I believe I might be wrong, but I believe he was their kicker there. And then after that, he went to Jacksonville for a couple seasons there. Once again, was solid. Nothing amazing. He didn't reach the heights that he did with Denver, but solid kicker. Has been around the league for a long time. He's no longer the guy that can boot it 60 plus yards. He's not that guy. He doesn't have the same leg as Narvison did, but the Packers are not necessarily looking for a guy that can boot it from 55. They're looking for a guy that can make anything from under 50 consistently, and that was something unfortunately Narvison wasn't able to do. All of his misses were from within 49. He had a couple from 43, 44, 46 that he just did not make. And so it looks like Quay, he was able to walk off the field. It looks like a hit to the head from JJ Enigbari. JJ accidentally hit him, kneed him in the head, or in the helmet, I should say, when Quay was on the ground. So gave a thumbs up, so hopefully he's okay. So 3rd and 9, quick blitz. Rashawn Gary in his face. JJ Inigbari was the first guy there to put some pressure on him, and that'll be a quick punt for the Houston Texans there. I am sorry. I did not mean that for that to rhyme. Thankfully, Quay is okay. Now I can rhyme it and not feel so bad. So, but yeah, Quay walked off the field, kind of jogged off the field, gave a thumbs up. So, always a good sign. Hopefully, he can come back into this game. Hopefully, he's healthy and he can make some big plays on the ball here. Punt is away. It's going to be. It's going to be for the Green Bay Packers because I'm pretty sure, hopefully, because I think it actually hit a Texans first. It might have hit a Green Bay Packer. I'm not sure. And it's going to be for Houston, unfortunately. A Green Bay Packer did touch it, and it's another turnover for the Green Bay Packers. Oh, yeah. And that was Carrington Ballantyne. Sorry, not Valentine. That was Corey Ballantyne. Sorry, Corey Ballantyne, who fortunately inadvertently touched the ball. And the Houston Texans will once again get great field position on a Green Bay turnover today. Quay is heading to the locker room. Helmet is off. Once again, starting at the 11, run up right up the middle. It's going to be a huge gain, close to a first down. He's going to be right around the 1 yard line. Easily the Houston Texans' best run of the day. And tight end in motion. It's going to be a handoff to Mixon, who's going to just waltz into the end zone after a nice little run to the left. And the Houston Texans have their first timeout of the game. Oh, we got some Houston Texans trying to do a little Lambeau leap. Some Packer fans not happy about that, shoving them off, throwing some beer, maybe throwing some fingers in the air. And the players are getting chippy. The fans are getting chippy. And the extra point is good. And Houston will retake a 3-point lead here with 11:52 left in the half. So far, all of Houston's points have come off Green Bay turnovers. The interception led to the field goal, and now the fumble/muffed punt on the punt for the Green Bay Packers leads to a touchdown. So that's a relatively decent sign for the. I'm trying to put a positive spin on this. But I mean, it's a good sign for the defense. They've only given up points when basically the ball has been at the 11, and one of them they held him to a field goal. Now it's the special teams and the offense that really needs to get going. I think we saw the offense kind of really get it going on that last drive. I was hoping that momentum was going to be able to swing back after the Packers defense did a great job of getting the Houston Texans off the board, forcing that punt that fortunately led to the fumble. But hopefully Green Bay's offense can still keep that momentum, take it back here. A touchdown gives us the lead. Or are you talking about the what happened on the fumble there, Dahlia? Yeah, if you're talking about the fumble, that was so basically when a punt hits the ground and it bounces around, if a player of the returning team touches it, even if it's accidental, technically it's a live ball for anybody to get. So when the ball bounced up and hit Ballantyne in his, I believe it was his calf or his shin, it became a live ball that Houston could easily jump on for basically it was a fumble. Basically, that's what it becomes. So that's what ended up happening. And on the other way around, there we go. And then the other way around, if it's if the Houston's Texans were the first ones to touch it, technically Green Bay could have picked it up without any really negative impact. Even if they fumbled it, as long as it touched the Houston Texan first, it wouldn't have counted. But fortunately, if the return team touches it, it automatically becomes a fumble if it's bouncing around. So that's kind of the explanation of that. So that's why usually you'll hear almost every returner, kick returner. Usually ours is Keyshawn Nixon, number 25. Usually, anytime he's not gonna want to return a kick if he's like, oh, I'm gonna just let it bounce. Usually, the special teams coordinators have a keyword that they are supposed to yell. Sometimes it's clear, 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 clear. That tells the guys that are trying to block for him, hey, if you hear clear, that means disengage and get away from your guy, get away from as far as you possibly can. Because that means that the ball is going to be bouncing around and I'm not going to be touching it. So I'm not sure. Obviously, I don't have the audio, and I doubt they would be very clear. So I'm wondering if Nixon either forgot or maybe they just didn't, they didn't hear him. So typically there is a little bit of a quote unquote like red flag sound that you want to hear. And it's going to be a run up the middle with Emmanuel Wilson, who's going to gain about 4 or 5 on the play. And I think when I was in high school, we used to say, I think it was a danger. Danger, danger, danger. It means, hey, you hear that? Get away. Get away. Run to the sidelines. Do what you need to do. Disengage from your block. It's going to be under center. It's going to be a toss to Emmanuel Wilson to the left side. He's going to gain about 3 yards on the play. So it'll be a 3rd and 2, maybe a 3rd and 3. And Emmanuel Wilson is another guy that has just done very well, man. Jacobs obviously is the number 1 back. He's the bell cow. But when Wilson has been able to get his touches, man, he has made the most of it. So 3rd and 3, 3 receivers stacked up on the right side. Jordan looking, pressure in his face, throws it out to Wilson, who makes a man miss. He's going to get up the field and just enough for the first down. Gain of 4 on the play. Great job by Emmanuel Wilson, a guy who was undrafted. I remember when he had that first big preseason for the Packers, it was looking great, and then of course injury hit him, and it kind of took away any chance of him having a big season or even getting involved in the offense. But thankfully, was able to stay healthy, and he has been phenomenal thus far. 1st and 10, ball at the 41. Tucker Kraft in motion to the left. Single back in the backfield. Emmanuel up the middle, and he is going to get blown up for a loss of about 2. Yeah, Houston was they were ready for that one. I'm not gonna lie, I'm surprised they didn't get Green Bay for a false start there. It looks like Josh Myers kind of twitched a little bit here just before the snap. 2nd and 11, empty set. 3 receivers to his left. Jordan looking, takes the snap, looking down the field, rolling to his right, finding somebody he likes, and it's going to be incomplete, but there is going to definitely be pass interference. Jaden Reed was tackled before the ball even got there. Oh, yeah. I mean, it was going to be a great throw and catch. So that'll be on the safety Eric Murray for the Texans. That'll be pass interference. That'll give Green Bay a first down and some great field position. I believe it's going to be in field goal territory. So 1st and 10, ball at the 30 of Houston. Shotgun, Jaden Reed, motion into the backfield. It's going to be incomplete. Is that a fumble? I don't think it is. It's going to be an incomplete pass. Jaden Reed unable to haul it in. Yeah, Reed just trying to one-hand it there. All right, 1st and 10, single receiver. And it's going to be Dontavian Wicks with a huge catch down the left sideline, and that is a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. Packers hurried up to the line, trying to get Houston in some bad situations here, personnel-wise, and it looks like it paid off because that is a big catch and run by Wicks. He caught it at the 5, is able to keep his feet in bounds. He did. And that is a touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. It was so fast that the that the broadcast literally only caught the ball as it was being snapped. So there was no real setup there. They've reviewed it. It's good. And the kick is up, and it is just good. It was veering a little to the right there, but McManus is perfect on his extra points so far. And they're saying that is Jordan Love's 9th consecutive game with multiple touchdown throws. 8:51 left in the half. Green Bay up 14-10. All right, man. Like I said, we were coming in. We were expecting a big game for both of these teams. Offensively, there's going to be points no matter what. They have too many playmakers on offense. They have their offensive coordinators, their play callers are just too, how should I say, too creative for not to have guys getting open, making plays on the ball, and of course their quarterbacks are some of the best in the NFL. So we knew there was going to be points. But the big story was how are these defenses going to be able to handle this? Green Bay's defense, outside of the bad situations they've been put in, they've held the Houston Texans to basically no points. Once again, outside of those turnovers, that's kind of put them inside the 15. Green Bay got a couple sacks here, got 2 sacks already, and then the Houston Texans able to get some turnovers, have an interception, and their special teams able to cause a fumble and a recovery against Green Bay. So plays being made all over the field by all types of defense, special teams, offense. And we still have a full 8.5 minutes left in the first half. It's going to be a fun game, man. I'm expecting some more points. I'm expecting some more defensive plays. Hopefully, Green Bay can get an interception or a turnover here at some point in this game. But man, it's gonna be fun. Also, great on Wicks, man. He had that double touchdown game against, I believe it was Minnesota. But again, we talked about it earlier. Has not had the season that many wanted or expected from him, and I guarantee you, he's just as potentially frustrated or disappointed about the same thing. But looks like they were looking back at the pass that Reed wasn't unable to handle. But to me, it looked like a forward pass. But again, it was the angle. But Wicks, once again, getting back into things. He was never able to be consistent, and now with that big touchdown, that was his best. In my opinion, that was his best route so far this season. He had some good ones against Minnesota for sure, but the catch, the concentration, and able to keep all feet in bounds, I should say, and make a big play. And it's going to be returned for the Houston Texans. He's going to turn up reverse field, and he's going to be out across the 40 down to about the 42 or 43. So not great kick coverage there for the Packers. Yeah, just a nice route by Wicks. Jordan put it right on him, man. That he could have not have put that ball any better. Right on the chest, in stride. All right. Houston will have great field position here. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 43. CJ under center. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. Tight end in motion. It's going to be a toss. It's going to reverse field up the middle here. Green Bay giving up a few big chunks here now in the running game. Joe Mixon shoving McKinney a little bit here. McKinney shoving back. These teams, man, they know the hype that's heading into this game. They want to prove to each other that they are both of these teams are young. Both of these teams are talented, and they want to prove it. It's going to be a quick throw to the right, and it's a first down for the Houston Texans. That is Diggs, the former Minnesota Viking, one of his first few catches here that I've seen. First and 10, ball at the 46 of Green Bay. Can be a handoff up the middle. Breaking some tackles. Joe Mixon making some plays, and that is Williams, the rookie safety, with the tackle. Yeah, Houston has not had the ball a whole lot. So 2nd and 7, ball at the 43 here. It's going to be a run up the middle, making a guy miss here, and Rashawn Gary and a host of Green Bay Packers will bring Mixon down just short of the first down. It's going to be around 3rd and 2. Yeah, initially it was a run to the left there, but stopped, planted his feet, and then reverse field and was able to find some extra yardage there. Third and 2. It's going to be a handoff up the gut, and he's going to be able to get the first down. Breaks the tackle in the backfield, and that is a first down for, let me see here. I'm going to mispronounce his name so badly. Ogowabale. Either way, I know he's a Wisconsin Badger, so mixed feelings on that one. Mixed feelings. I'm happy there's a Badger making some plays in the NFL, but why couldn't that have come on, you know, 3rd and 26? So 1st and 10, ball at the 32. Diggs in motion to the left, fakes the handoff, pressure. Rashawn Gary nearly getting to him. CJ able to throw the ball out of bounds. Great pursuit by Rashawn, man. That might have been the fastest I've seen him this season. Yeah, Rashawn already has 1 sack in this game. I guarantee you he's looking for 2. He's had a very quiet season. So 3 receivers to the left, to the right here. It's going to be blown up. It was going to be a screen to Mixon, and that is Eric Wilson. Eric Wilson, who does not get a whole lot of play, at least on defense. Obviously, with Quay Walker hurt, he's going to be his snaps are going to be definitely going up. And this kid, all he does, man, is make plays on the ball. Read that screen immediately, got there, got in position. Great wrap up. Just phenomenal job by Eric Wilson, man. This guy needs to be on the field more, in my opinion. So 3rd and 12. Snap and pressure initially, but unable to get there. And it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get it to Tank Dell. And it was the rookie Williams out of Oregon with the with the coverage there. And that was a great job by JJ Enikbari getting the initial little push on CJ, forcing him to kind of step in to the pocket that was kind of collapsing. CJ unable to really get enough power on that throw. And CJ frustrated, man, because Tank Dell was open. If the ball was a little bit better, a little bit extra air under it, I think Tank Dell is able to come back to it a little bit and get the first down. I like what Jeff Hafley is doing, man. He is being very smart. He's giving up the yardage when they're on their side of the field. He's not trying to be aggressive. He's not going to get anything over the top. But once they get past that 50, man, he tightens up. The Packers' pass rush has not resulted in a bunch of sacks this season. But in this game, they are putting some pressure on Stroud. They're keeping him in the pocket. They're making him uncomfortable. And Fairbairn's kick is up, and it is good. And Houston will get their first points of the game. That did not result in a turnover for Green Bay. So with 4:30 left in the half, we have a 1-point game here in Green Bay. And they got some weird commercials going on here, man. All right, we are almost back here. All right, 4:30 left in the half. Green Bay has all three timeouts. Hopefully, if they can get a drive going here. Still want to be able to move the ball and move the clock because obviously you do not want to give Houston one final chance before the half to be able to put up some points. Plus, on top of that, Houston does get the ball in to start the second half. Yeah, I really like what the defense has done so far for the Packers. They have not given up a big ton of yardage. I think before that final drive from the Houston Texans, I think their best or their longest um, drive was only 38 yards, and it led to a punt. Once again, their first two initial drives that gave them some points have all come when the ball was spotted at the 11 because of a turnover in Green Bay. And it's going to be returned, and Nixon is going to be very close to the 35, down to about the 34. First and 10, ball at the 34. Single back in the backfield. Jordan under center, fakes the handoff, looking deep down the field, and it's going to get intercepted. Once again, I don't know what Jordan is looking at, man. Not what you want. Not what you want. Dude, come on. And that is Jordan Love's second interception of the game. Throwing it with pressure coming down on him. He's got to be smarter with the ball, man. It's disappointing. Disappointing on that one. I don't know what he was looking at. The safety was there over the top from the beginning. I know there's pressure in your face, man. Sometimes you just gotta take the sack. It sucks, but sometimes you gotta take the sack if you can't throw it away. So it's gonna be the ball's gonna be at the 45. Mixon breaks the initial contact in the backfield, and he's gonna get to about the 49. Clock is at 4:43, 4:02, 4:01, 4, 3:59, 3:58. If you want to sync it up with us. So 2nd and 6. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. Big run by Joe Mixon. He's going to get past nearly everybody, and McKinney is going to be able to drive him out, but that is a huge gain for the Texans. They are not only in field goal range, they are in the red zone, and it is looking tough right now, man. Green Bay Packers turning the ball over, 3 turnovers in this game. Jair over pursuing. First and 10, ball at the 19. Single back in the backfield. Tight end in motion to the backfield. Full back position. Another run up the middle. This time Green Bay stopping him for no gain. clock is at 2:30 here. And the play will be called dead. There's a couple flags here. There was definitely some movement from the Texans. I'm just trying to see if it was enough to draw the penalty. Nope. It'll be on Green Bay. And it's going to be on Lucas Van Ness. And right now, this feels like one of those games where Green Bay is just getting in their own way. I mean, Houston has not done anything offensively to be able to, not to be able to, but to say that they have dominated on offense. I mean, they're trailing right now, and most of their points have come from great field position. It deep into Packers territory. And it's just the biggest thing with the Packers is their turnovers, man. 2 interceptions by Jordan Love, and then the fumble on the punt. They just got to get out of their own way, be smart with the ball. You're doing well. You're driving down the field. When you have the ball, you've been able to get yardage and take up a lot of time, and you're getting points. But it's what Matt LaFleur talked about 2 weeks ago before the Arizona game. He's like, we're getting big chunk plays, and those are the drives that lead to points. But he's like, I want drives where we don't, if the big play is not there, I want us to be able to drive down the field. It doesn't mean we're just dinking and dunking, 3 or 4 yards at a time, but, 3 or 4 yards here, maybe a 6 or 7 yarder there, and it's just consistency. Being able to keep a long drive going and not having to rely on the explosive play that is not always going to be there. And that's a big thing too, especially in the playoffs. Things get tighter. Those calls that initially give you pass interference, those kind of go away. The referees let you play a little bit more, so those explosive plays are fewer and far between. So that's the kind of ball that Matt LaFleur wants to be able to get Green Bay's offense to play. Something that's a little bit more, not necessarily traditional, just more something that's not going to be reliant on being able to find a high reward but a very low successful rate of a play. You got to get your 4 yards before you start worrying about 40 yards. And right now in this game so far, the big plays have been able to lead Green Bay to touchdowns, but it's those other drives that are leading to turnovers, leading to punts. That's when those big plays are not there. And that throw to Watson that Jordan just got picked on, no reason to throw that ball. Safety is right down the middle, close. The middle of the field is not open. He's got a guy right behind him there. There's pressure in your face. It's the first play of the drive. Just take the sack, throw it away if you can't throw it away, take the sack. Be smart with the ball. Keep the ball away from C.J. Stroud and that very explosive offense that so far your defense has been able to hold to very minimal gains. But I think you're starting to see this defense tire out just a little bit. It's a big run. And it's going to be a first down inside the 5, down to the 4. And the Houston Texans are establishing the run, something you do not want to see, something that Green Bay has done very well to stop teams from doing. So clock is now going to be under 1:30 here. Probably not going to be enough time for Green Bay's offense to mount a successful drive just before the half. Houston, they're taking their time. They're bleeding this clock as low as they can. If they can only get a field goal out of this drive, they're okay with it because they get the ball to start the second half, as long as they get points here. And Houston will use their first timeout of the half. Clock is stopped at 1:15. All right, first and goal here. Looks like we might get another timeout. Looks like they were just adjusting the clock here. Stopped at 1:16. Single back in the backfield. Tight formation. It's going to be a handoff up the middle, and Houston will score another touchdown here. And once again, another turnover leading to points for the Houston Texans. Houston has only scored a field goal that was not directly tied to a turnover. First interception by Jordan Love led to 3. The muffed punt led to a touchdown, and now this second interception will lead to another touchdown, and it looks like Houston is going for 2 here to make it a 7-point game. Tight end in motion to the right. 2 receivers to the right as well. CJ rolling to the right, and he is going to be incomplete, but it's going to be pass interference. It looks like it's going to be on Keyshawn Nixon. Trying to get the ball to Diggs. Very surprised at putting Keyshawn with Diggs here. I feel like Ja would have a better. I mean, he's had better matchups against Diggs in the past year when he was in Minnesota. So the ball will be spotted now at the 1. Tight end in motion. It's going to be a handoff, and it's the rookie out of Oregon, Williams, making a play, getting the running back down in the backfield. Huge job by the rookie, man. He has been flipping phenomenal. He had a big game last week against the Cardinals, breaking up the pass that on 4th down to basically secure the Green Bay win. And now here, saving 2 points. And that was just one-on-one, him and Joe Mixon. Nobody else came in to help him clean that up. If he doesn't tackle him, Joe Mixon is just going to run in for 2 points. Heck of a job by the rookie, man. I love it. All right. Once again, Houston will get the ball to start the second half. Green Bay has a minute 13 and all three timeouts. And the kick is going to go out the back of the end zone. Green Bay will start at the 25. I expect them to try to get some points here, whether that's a field goal or anything. First and 10. Two receivers stacked up on the left. Jordan throwing it to Christian Watson. Gain of about 9.5. All right. Second and 1. Jordan looking. It's going to be pressured and taken down for a sack back at the 30. So 3rd and 9, Jordan dropping back, looking, throwing deep down the field. He's got Jaden Reed, who is unable to hold on to that deep pass. Oh, man. Almost had a huge play there. Coverage was a little soft. Jaden, oh, he actually caught it, but when he went to the ground, the ball just popped right out. Could have been a massive play. Oh. Almost had one. Great throw by Jordan there. There's only one guy that was going to catch it. That was Jaden, and almost got it. Punt is away, and it'll be taken at the 18. Trying to find some room here. And great job, great coverage by the Packers, keeping him inside the 20. And with only 7 seconds left, Houston will most likely just down this and take a 5-point lead into the half. And that is right. There's only 2 timeouts for Green Bay. So thank you. CJ takes the knee, and we are heading to halftime with the score in Green Bay. Houston 19, Green Bay 14. All right, guys. Give me just a few seconds here, and we're going to kind of talk about the first half, what we liked, what we didn't like, what to expect, maybe a little bit in the second half, and I will be right back. All right, we are back here. So, obviously, halftime here. Let's adjust this quarter two to halftime. But obviously, the biggest story right now is the turnovers for Green Bay. Houston has done a great job. No turnovers. Have given up a pair of sacks, but nothing otherwise. Their offense has not been really able to move the ball outside of the three drives that directly preceded a Green Bay turnover. They've been able to get 16 points off of those. Otherwise, they've only been able to get a field goal and a traditional drive that kind of started after a punt or return. But Green Bay able to get 14 points, but man, dude, their turnovers are killing their drives. Jordan Love, that first one, I think you can just chalk it up to a great play by the by the Texans defense. You can clearly tell that was one of those where that's all the film. Hey, this is what they let anytime they're in this look. This is where Jordan likes to go. This is who he likes to throw to. Usually the inside most guy. Usually, especially when those receivers are kind of going to the boundary, you'll get a lot of defenses that shift over. It's not very common for a guy who's in the middle there to try to cut inside. So that was just a great play by the Texans. The second interception by Jordan Love, that's just on him making a bad read, making a bad decision. Obviously, there's pressure in his face, but with that, you either got to throw it away or just take a sack. Obviously, easier said than done, but you can't throw a pick, man. You cannot throw a pick against this team, especially when they've already been able to get some points off of turnovers. You're getting some momentum. You gotta keep it there, man. At the worst, even if it's a sack, you most likely keep the ball. You're not in great down in distance, but you keep the ball. You have two chances to get, 15, 16, 17 yards, whatever it was going to be. And how explosive your offense is, how many playmakers you have, there's a decent chance you're going to be able to pick up that first down. A decent chance. But throwing the ball over the middle, high, middle field safety, typically never going to really end well. So not a great job by Jordan on that one. And then the punt on the fumble on the punt there. Clearly, obviously not a traditional one. Keyshawn backed away from it, but then the coverage, the blockers for him did not either hear him or just did not get a call. And then, I'm looking at, looks like we got Deshaun Watson injured on the field here, so it looks like he was carried out on the cart there. So, anyway, now, obviously, Keyshawn backed away from it. His guys did not hear him. They kept on blocking. They touched it. Gave great field position to the Texans on that one. And that's another thing right there. Rich Bisaccia, coming into the season, Rich was already his seat was warm as a coordinator. Last year, the reason they brought Rich Bisaccia in was after that San Francisco fiasco, which was Devontae Adams' final playoff game game with the Packers. That also ended up being Rodgers' last playoff game for the Packers. Was that loss to San Francisco 10-7, 10-3, or whatever it was. And they brought in Rich Bisaccia, who was considered one of the best special teams coordinator. They made him the highest paid coordinator in the NFL, special teams coordinator, with the expectation that this team would get better. The mistakes, the fumbles, the penalties, things like that would be minimized, and this team would be better in that side of the ball. It's looked good in certain parts, but to say that it's been successful is it just hasn't happened, man. How many kickers have they gone through? Brandon McManus is their third kicker in the last 2 years. The first two, Carlson, that was a big Rich Bisaccia pick. They picked him because he had worked with Anderson Carlson's older brother in Oakland or Las Vegas. That did not work out. They cut Carlson, after just a season. They go to another rookie kicker, once again leading the NFL in missed field goals, and now they're going with a veteran. And then on top of that, return game has not been explosive. That first season with Keyshawn, where he had a couple kick and punt returns, those were huge. Last year, Keyshawn was once again still all pro, but nothing to the extent of his first season in Green Bay. Touchdowns, big returns. I think it was just mostly the yardage and the ability to actually gain more than just 20 yards. I think that's what really was Keyshawn's biggest attribute last season. And then this year, the amount of times that there's been fumbles, just bad coverage, bad punts. Luckily, Waylon has been very solid as a punter. That's been the biggest bright spot for the Packers special teams this season. He's been the most consistent, but otherwise very, very tough. And Justin King, what's going on, dude? Hey, what's up? How you doing? Thank you for joining, man. Hope you're doing well, man. Hope you're enjoying the game. If you're watching, let me know which game you're watching. Are you watching the Packer game or are you watching something else? But let me know. And once again, Rich Bisaccia, his special teams has just not improved, man. It seems like it'd be getting worse. And if it does not get better, if McManus does not seem to be a consistent guy, if the coverage, if the return game continues to make mistakes, I think we're going to see Rich Bisaccia potentially be leaving. There's a lot of money going to him for the return that they're hoping to get. It's not been there. So that was kind of talking about the special teams there, not just for this game, but the last few seasons, actually. I like what the defense is doing for the Packers. They've been able to minimize the yardage for the most part. Unfortunately, that last drive was by far their worst. They gave up a lot of rushing yards. But for the most part, the previous 4 drives for the Houston Texans I think they held them to less than 120 total yards. Once again, both of those first scoring drives was when the ball was spotted literally at the 11. There's not a whole lot you can do or expect from a defense. The fact that they were able to hold them to just 10 points off of those drives was impressive to me. They've gotten some sacks. They've gotten some decent pressure. The coverage has been very solid. You can tell that Tank Dell and even Diggs are not they're not being consistently explosive. They're not just getting the ball and just going off for 25, 34, 40 yards. A lot of it is underneath, and I think that's that should be a credit to Jeff Hafley's defense and as well as these players, man. I think the defense has been the most consistent. Yes, they've given them 19 points, but we've talked about it. Situational football. They've not been given the best situations in this first half. So what I'm looking for this second half, defense continuing not only to play tough defense and coverage, but also running the ball, getting back to what they did in those first couple drives. Hopefully they can minimize Joe Mixon's impact in the second half, especially with the lead that they have. And most importantly, they need a turnover. Whether that's a fumble or an interception, they need one turnover just to get it going. Hopefully they can get good field position for this Packers offense. That'll be huge. Special teams, they just need to stop the bleeding a little bit. Luckily, it's only been the one fumble. Otherwise, they've been solid. But, a fumble, that's huge. Even if it's just one a game, that's not you don't want to see that. You can get away with that one time. After that, you got to make some plays. Starting with giving them a little bit better field position in the second half. A lot of them are just being downed inside the 15, inside the 10. You do not want to start that deep in your own territory. Try to get the ball closer to the 25, to the 30. Help Jordan Love and this offense. And then finally, for the offense, turnovers. Minimizing the turnovers. Jordan Love, 2 interceptions. Otherwise, their offense has been solid. Even if you're only getting a field goal, even if you're only, you got to stop the turnovers, man. You got to be smart with the ball. Be smart with down and distance. And I think run the ball, man. Jacobs has been running the ball really well. Emmanuel Wilson, he hasn't been he has yet to have a really massive explosive run that usually gets one a game, but I think he can do it. So I hope the Packers kind of run the ball here, be smart with it, and Jordan Love takes what the defense is going to give him. Stop trying to force it down the field. When the pressure is in your face, don't just try to throw it deep and hope that your guy makes a play. That's not the game right now. This team is too talented on offense to be able to do that. This is not the Arizona Cardinals. So that's my keys. McManus's kick is up, and it is going to be out the back of the end zone. So Houston will get the ball at the 30 with a chance to put this to a 2-possession game. So, yeah, right now, Packers -3 in the turnover battle. And if you look at the stats, usually does not bode well for a team when they are down by that much. So they gotta even that out just a little bit here. Stroud tossing it to Mixon, and he gets absolutely destroyed in the backfield. That was Preston Smith and Kenny Clark taking him down for a loss. All right. CJ under center here. Single. Nope. There's a fullback in the backfield along with a running back. It's going to be a handoff up the middle. And Williams lowering his shoulder, bringing him down after a gain of about 6 or 7 there for Joe Mixon. And I always forget that Matt LaFleur was an assistant with the Houston Texans. And D'Amico Ryans was a player during that time. So a little bit of a history with these coaches. 3rd and 4, shotgun pressure. And that is going to be McDuffie, I believe, with the sack. Kenny Clark in there as well. Sorry, that is Eric Wilson. What did I say, man? What did I say? This guy just makes plays. Eric Wilson, man, number 45 linebacker, just beating the double team as well. Just absolutely destroying that double team. Just kept on running forward and then just ran right into Stroud for another sack. Eric Wilson needs to be on the field, man. Simple as that. What more does this guy need to do to get defensive snaps? So it's going to be a punt for the Texans. It's going to be a quick 3 and out. Nice return by Nixon, who's going to be near the 25. Right there. Boom. So 12:47 left in the third quarter here. That was a quick 3 and out. Great job by the Packers defense. First play, 2-yard loss. Second play, they gave up some yardage, but still it was only about 3rd and 5. And then Eric Wilson just doing what he has done all season when given the opportunity, make plays. The kid is just phenomenal, man. Well, while it's not a turnover, 3 and out is just as good. A 3 and out is just as good. But yeah, man, there's gonna be this second half is gonna be wild to me. I think it's gonna be hopefully as long as Green Bay's offense can clean things up. I think we're gonna see a even more exciting second half here. I'm gonna be very interested in how they start this drive. So they've been able to find space to run the ball, but I think Matt LaFleur wants to be aggressive. I mean, that's clear from the jump here. But Jordan just needs to make a little bit of a better read, make better decisions with the ball. All right. So Green Bay will start with the ball at the 29, it looks like. Christian Watson in motion is going to be run up to the left from Jacobs. It's going to be a gain of about 3, maybe 4 on the play. Clock is at 12:25, 12:24, 12:23, 12:22, 12:21, 12:20, 12:19, 12:18, 12:17 if you are able to sync this up with us. Jordan in the shotgun, 2 receivers stacked up on the left side here. Reed in motion to the right, over the middle here, and it's going to be a catch, I believe, by Romeo Doubs. Tough one, tight coverage. Romeo, 3 for 45 in this game, man. An average of 15 yards per catch. Yeah, man. Romeo, and this is going back all the way to his rookie season with Rodgers, man. There has not been a more secure catcher of the ball than Romeo over the last couple seasons in Green Bay. It's going to be a run to the left here with Jacobs, and it's going to be maybe only 2 yards on the play. Houston doing a great job of holding up on the line. Looks like they're putting some emphasis to stop this ball from getting on the ground. So Jacobs, his first 4 carries went for 25. His last 4 have only gone for 8. So 2nd and 8, 2x2 receivers. Jacobs motioning in the backfield. It's going to be another handoff. Jacobs breaking a tackle and getting across the first down marker. And that's going to be a huge run for the Packers. And it looks like they are already in Houston territory. It's going to be very close to the 45 of Houston. Two receivers to the right. 2 players in the backfield with Jordan in the shotgun. Another handoff to Jacobs up the middle. It's going to be 10, 30, 25, 20 inside the 20-yard line. And that is Josh Jacobs with a huge run over 25 yards on the carry. Yeah, was going to the left, cut it up the middle, and just able to outrun most of everybody, and was taken down just shy of the 15. It's going to be 1st and 10 at the 18-yard line. It's going to be a handoff up the middle to Wilson, and he's going to be stopped up after about a half a yard on the play. So Green Bay right now, they are averaging 5 yards a carry, their most since 1962. They're averaging 160 rushing yards per game, the most since 1963. And their running percentage is at 50, a little over 51, the highest since 1983. Three receivers to the right. Jordan throws it quickly to Romeo Doubs, who is going to be out across the first down marker. Gain of about 12 on the play. Oh, and they're showing some highlights of the Bills game. Amari Cooper scoring his first career touchdown as a Buffalo Bill. 1st and 10, ball at the 6-yard line. Ben Sims in motion to the right. Receiver on each side. Tucker Kraft in motion. Gets the ball to Jacobs on the screen, but it's going to go for a loss of 2. Houston doing a great job of sniffing that one out. All right, 2nd and goal here. Three receivers on the left side, tight end in the slot. Jacobs gets the ball. 5-10, touchdown, Green Bay. And that is a huge one, not just for this game, but that is a huge one personally for Josh Jacobs because that is his first ever career touchdown reception in the NFL. He had over, with that previous catch that went for a loss of 2, he had 211 career receptions. That is the most for any running back without a touchdown in NFL history. But guess what? 212 is the one that gets him into the end zone. Touchdown, Green Bay. They have the lead here, but also just a great, great personal little milestone for Jacobs. Congratulations on that one. Heck of a job. Green Bay up 21-19 with 7:25 left in this third quarter. Hopefully he kept that ball or somebody grabbed it for him because that is something that I remember that I think Matt LaFleur and him talked about when he was kind of negotiating or even as soon as he signed. Matt LaFleur said it was like going to be a personal little mission for him to be able to scheme up a play that would get Jacobs in the end zone for his first receiving touchdown. And it happened. It happened against the Houston Texans, Week 7, to take the lead here in the third quarter. I love it. I love it. All right, and we talked about it just heading into this game. They needed to establish the run, get the ball out of Jordan Love's hands very not only quickly, but make him give him the opportunity to just take what the defense is giving him. And that's what they did there on that drive. He didn't try to force anything. There's a couple tight coverages throws, but he was throwing it to Romeo Doubs. Very smart throws. Nothing crazy deep down the field, nothing into double coverage. So, smart job by this offense. Great job by Matt LaFleur. Great job by Jordan Love. And, man, I'm happy with that drive. I mean, even if they would have scored in some different way, but the fact that they were able to get Jacobs involved in the running game, in the passing game as well. And that was an all Jacobs drive, basically. He was able to get them to midfield. He broke off that big 25-plus yard run to get them in the red zone. And then finally, 2 catches. Second one, able to get in the end zone for his first career touchdown reception. And also 3rd passing touchdown for Jordan Love tonight. For today. So, obviously, 2 interceptions, not what you want to see, but, man, it's tough to argue with Jordan, man. When he when he can minimize his turnovers, the touchdowns are always there. The touchdowns are there when he's not throwing picks, and they're there when he is throwing picks. So Jordan Love, man, just able to. I don't know how to describe it, man. As a person that saw Rodgers, and don't be wrong, Rodgers is right now, he is the greatest quarterback this franchise has ever had. That is no disrespect to Brett Favre, and there's definitely no disrespect to Bart Starr, who I think was a better leader, and also that's a whole different NFL, different things. I'm not trying to compare them in terms of their ability as quarterbacks necessarily, but I'm just talking about how important and how dominant a player was. Aaron Rodgers could just take over games with almost anybody at receiver at times. But when Rodgers was having a bad game, if he was getting sacked, if he was getting pressured, or just throwing picks, you can kind of tell that he was going to be off his game. There was rarely ever times where he was getting sacked and throwing picks where he was just going to be able to, make great plays. Sometimes Rodgers just was a very guy. He would just kind of go with the flow of the game, and if it was going bad, he was going to go with that bad flow. Jordan Love, no matter what, it seems like he can come back from getting sacked, from getting intercepted. The next play can be a touchdown. That's the thing I love about Jordan. Doesn't let the bad things linger, and he just keeps on going. So, first pass for C.J. Stroud was incomplete. Looking for a flag here. Sorry, I'm a little late on there. I was just kind of talking. So, 2nd and 10 here in the shotgun. Two receivers stacked up on the left. And it's going to be it's going to be called dead. Looks like that we had some motion here. I think it might be on Green Bay, actually. And it is. And that was on Kenny Clark talking to the ref. He's like, come on, man. Oh, absolutely. Oh, that should be on Houston, dude. The left guard, like, literally going back and forth, like rocking back and forth. He was in, come on. That's why Kenny was like, come on, man. All right, 2nd and 5 here. Some pressure. Needing to move. J.J. Enagbari in the backfield, and it's going to be incomplete. Great coverage by the Green Bay Packers. It'll be 3rd and 5 here. Yeah, J.J. just coming right up the middle, forcing C.J. Stroud to move to his left. Able to get a hand on him, actually. All right, let's go. We got to get a stop here. Green Bay showing pressure here. They do. They send 5. Quick pass, and it is broken up by who else? Eric Wilson getting a hand on that ball, batting it out of the receiver's hands, the tight end, actually. And that is going to be a 4th down for the Houston Texans. Eric Wilson, man. My dude sniffed out a screen for a loss earlier in the game. Was able to get a batted ball here, and then was able to get a sack earlier on the previous drive. Great punt. Jaden Reed should have just let that ball go into the end zone here, and he's going to be tripped up inside the 5 down to the 4. Not a good decision by Jaden Reed. Ball was literally going to bounce at the 2. It might have bounced backwards maybe, but dang. All right, 6:44. Green Bay does have the ball back on offense. They're going to be very close, very deep in their own territory. But we've seen it before. I think during the Arizona game, they had the ball somewhere around like the 4 or 3 yard line, and they scored a touchdown on that drive. So down in distance, or at least the positioning of where they are on the field doesn't really concern me with this team offensively. I think they have enough play calls and enough playmakers to be able to drive all the way down the field. It's just about the patience. Do they have the patience not to try to force something down the field? All right. Still on a commercial break here, so we're not missing anything. Oh man, dude, I'm so excited, man. If the Packers can get a touchdown here, even just an extra point on top of the touchdown, this will make it a two possession lead. And I like how this defense is playing right now. I feel like I like them even better when they're playing with a lead. They'll be able to play a little bit more aggressively, maybe take some chances when the ball's in the air. And that's when this team who leads the NFL in turnovers, hopefully they can that's when they're going to be able to make some plays on the ball. So Jordan under center here, single back in the backfield. I'm expecting a run, and they do. It's going to be right up the middle, and Jacobs is going to be out across the 10 down to the 11. Gain of 7 on that first down play. Jordan looking, gets the ball out to his tight end. That is Ben Sims with a gain of 2, and it'll be 3rd and 1. I just hope it's a run right up the middle, man. They have not been able to really stop Jacobs a whole lot. I'm hoping they don't get too crafty here. If it is a pass, get something quick. Get something quick. Oh boy, it's an end around, and Jaden Reed is not going to get there. It's exactly what I was hoping they would not do. Just move the ball north and south, man. Just north and south. Jaden Reed is down on the ground. Hopefully he's okay. Hopefully he just kind of got the wind knocked out of him. Yep, he's back up. Man, that's what I was hoping would not happen, man. I, I know this team a little too well, man. Sometimes they think about it a little too much. I'd be willing to be okay if they did not get the first down, if they just ran the ball up the middle with Jacobs. I mean, he gained 7 yards on that first play. Just run right up the middle. If you can't get a yard, then I mean, man. Now they're gonna be punting away here. They're gonna give. Oh, looks like the returner lost the ball in the sun, and the ball is gonna be somewhere around the 25, I believe. Yeah, King unable to locate the ball. Luckily, it went right over his head. Luckily, it didn't hit his helmet. Luckily for the Houston Texans, not us. Drinking a leaping lemonade for number 8 on his first passing touchdown. I wasn't going to drink but earlier today, but to celebrate. Heck yeah, man. Gotta celebrate for him. Well, I don't have any alcohol, but I'll drink my bubbler here. But yeah. Oh man, I'm so disappointed with that third down play call, man. Just run it right up the middle, man. I know it's not creative, it's not sexy, but man, dude, it could have had it, man. Could have had that drive keep on going, man. And that's what you need is right now. You need to get this Texans offense off the field. Don't give them extra opportunities because they're going to be explosive. They have not had a great game in terms of moving the ball down the field, but you can't rely on that all game. Not with this team, not with the coaches that they have, not with the players that they have. Eventually, they're going to make plays, and you need to minimize that. And you have to get your offense back on track. They look good on that first drive. Keep it going. Be smart with the ball. Same thing with the plays. Just run right up the middle. I guarantee you, you're close to 100 yards, if not over 100 yards rushing already. Keep it going. Force them to stop you. All right, don't get creative with the if it's if you're down the field and you're already in field goal range, yeah, do the end around because who knows, it could be a huge play, you can get it going, but not when you're that deep in your own territory. Not when you just started that drive. Don't make it a 3 and out. Keep it going. That's my opinion. All right, 4:35 left in the game. CJ under center, throw it. It's going to be a handoff to his running back to the right, and it's going to go nowhere, maybe half a yard. And the pressure for the Packers has been there all game. They have been able to really, really fluster C.J. Stroud. And I think if they can keep on doing that, he's going to give them one. He's going to give them a chance to get a pick here. More pressure. It's going to be a screen to Mixon, who is able to get past the initial tackler, and it's going to be a first down for the Texans. All right, we got the Lions and the Vikings here. Some highlights and touchdown for the Lions, and they are up now 28-17 over the undefeated Minnesota Vikings, which is exactly what we want. Obviously, we want both of these teams to lose, but if we have to pick one, Minnesota needs to lose for the Packers to help them out just a little bit. Fakes the handoff over the middle here. Finally gets it to Diggs, and that's going to be a nice pickup for a first down for the Texans, and they are in Green Bay territory. Nice little in route by Diggs. One of his favorite things to run, man. His ins and outs, those are the things he has made a career off of. He was held to just 3 receiving yards in the first half. It's going to be a run up the middle, and Mixon is going to be able to squeak out 3 yards on the play. Clock is at 2:12, 2:11, 2:10, 2:09, 2:08, 2:07, 2:06, 2:05 if you want to sync it up with us. Stroud under center, 2 receivers to his left. Pressure, and it's going to be incomplete, nearly intercepted after the ball got tipped up, and that was Edgerrin Cooper, the rookie linebacker, diving for it, trying to get that pick. Great job by the Packers pass rush there, forcing C.J. Stroud to kind of throw that off balance. And it'll be 3rd and 7 here. All right, come on, let's go. Let's get this ball back for this offense. Diggs in motion to the left. CJ in the shotgun. And it's going to be pressure, and CJ Stroud is going to go down. And that is Eric Wilson again, ladies and gentlemen. Woo! My God, dude. Yeah, that was a sack for Eric Wilson. That is his 2nd sack of the game. Edgerrin Cooper also in there, who was able to clear the way for Wilson. Man, dude. Wilson sniffed out of 2 sacks now, a pass breakup on 3rd down, and blowing up a screen early in the game. I know I'm talking about that kid a lot, man, but he does not get a whole lot of playing time, and he has just looked amazing anytime he does. So I'm going to sing the kid's praises anytime he makes a play, man, because he has earned it, and I hope we see him more on the field here. He's been phenomenal. Also, both of his sacks have come on 3rd down. So 2 3rd down sacks and a pass breakup on 3rd down as well. How much more of an impact do you need from a guy? So 1st and 10, ball at the 25. It's going to be a handoff up the middle here, and Jacobs going down for a loss of 1. We are under 60 seconds left in this 3rd quarter. All right, Jordan in the shotgun. 2 receivers stacked up on the right. Jaden Reed in motion to the left. Quick throw. It's going to be to Romeo Dobbs. The ball was a little low, but he was able to pick it off of his shins there. And a nice gain of about 7 or 8. And that'll be the end of the 3rd quarter. Green Bay is going to have the ball. They're going to flip the field here. And it's going to be a big 3rd down coming up here. And stay tuned. After we're done streaming this game, we're going to be doing the next game, which is going to be the Chiefs and the 49ers. That one should be fun as well. We've got 2 really good teams. Obviously, a rematch of last year's Super Bowl. So I expect, despite some injuries for the 49ers, I expect a tough matchup. And I think they're starting to get healthy a little bit. They're starting to get things going. So I expect them to give the Chiefs a run for their money, and hopefully it could be a fun matchup. I'm debating whether I want to cheer for the 49ers or the Chiefs, but I part of me is like, you never cheer for the 49ers. Not until at least we beat them in the playoffs. So, yeah. But do I want the Chiefs to go 6-0? I don't know. Obviously, 49ers, a loss would be helpful to the Packers, so I think we're going to have to go with that. I think the Chiefs are going to be, they're going to have to cheer for them to be undefeated for one more week. And, yeah. Hopefully the referees are on the Chiefs' side this time, as they've been all season. All right, we are on a commercial break here still, so we're not missing anything. All right, we are back here for the final drive. Sorry, for the final quarter of this big matchup. I can't cheer for either, but don't really like the Chiefs. I'm right there with you, man. As a NFL fan, you're kind of stuck in a hard spot there. So 3rd and 3, two receivers stacked up on the left, single receiver at Romeo Dobbs at the bottom of the screen. Jordan dropping back, has pressure, and he is going to go down for a sack. And Rasheed Walker, unfortunately, giving up the sack to Will Anderson Jr. And that was a tough one. Let's see what the routes were here. Oh, my goodness. He had a guy open. Jordan had somebody open there, but just unable to deliver the ball in time. Got to give it to Houston there. That was a great play. So the punt is away here. And they're going to be returned here. 30 gets stopped by his own man. Tank Dell yelling at his tight end who basically tackled him. Otherwise, I think Tank Dell might have picked up an extra 5 or more yards on the return. But yeah, as a Packer fan, I mean, I don't want to cheer for the 49ers, obviously. And I definitely don't want to cheer for the Chiefs, but I might have to be happy with a 49er loss today. That's all I got to say. So 14:07 left in this final quarter. CJ under center, hands it off up the middle. Green Bay doing a great job of stopping him for a gain of about 2, maybe 3. There is a flag on the field, though. Oh, absolutely. Thank you to Stover there, stopping Tank Dell. Packers had an extra man on that punt coverage. And illegal formation on the Houston Texans, so that'll move that ball back 5 yards. So it'll be 1st and 15. And all right, Cincinnati, man, they look like they were just absolutely destroying the Browns. CJ in the shotgun, trying to motion Diggs to the right of the formation. Pressure, not going to get there. And they do a great job of taking down Stroud for a minimal gain. That was McDuffie on the tackle. Gained only 6 yards, so it'll be 2nd and 9. First time I see Stroud able to run for any positive yardage in this game. So another escapability here, and Stroud going to get the first down here. Jair talking some smack to Stroud. Yeah, CJ took a shot on that play there. Ja and Eric Wilson on the stop. All right, handful of guys in the backfield here. It's going to be a run up the middle and gain of about 2 or 3. And CJ Stroud, man, he's an athletic guy. Like, that's one aspect that you don't see or it doesn't get talked about a whole lot. He can run. He's like his speed in terms of like his kind of like a range is like Pat Mahomes. He doesn't run as weirdly as Patrick Mahomes, but he's about that same speed. So he can If there's open field, he's going to be able to find and be able to run for a first down. So 2nd and 8. Texans in the eye. It's going to be a toss to the left, and it's going to be blown up in the backfield. Edger and Cooper able to get back there. Alexander once again talking some smack to Mixon. It's going to be a loss of about 2 or 3. So it'll be 3rd and 11. Let's go. We got to get a stop here. The Packers just need one more touchdown, I feel like, man, because this defense has been playing very well. Packers showing pressure. They only send 4, and it's going to be able to roll to his left. He's going to try to run and only gains an extra yard on the play. All right, Ja. Keep it cool. Keep it cool. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. There we go. All right, it'll be 4th down for the Houston Texans. And another frustrating drive for this Texans offense, man. Stroud was trying to play up the little bump up that he had with I believe TJ Slayton there. Slayton did not move. He did not, try to throw anything at him. Stroud just kind of ran into him, but he was trying to look for a flag. He's like, "Hey, he touched me." I mean, you're the one running to the sidelines, man. Texans are going to punt it away. Punt is up. And it's going to go into the end zone. Green Bay will start with the ball at the 20 here with 10:07 left in this game. I didn't see him move the shoulder, but maybe he planted that foot a little bit, maybe leaned into it just a little bit. He's like, I got to itch something, maybe give him a little extra there. But luckily Slayton, nobody on the sidelines trying to do too much. Everybody's keeping their head, which I like. I think Green Bay was a little hot in the first quarter, especially. They were getting some penalties that they shouldn't have, but I think Matt LaFleur kind of got everybody settled in and said, hey, let's just do our business. Let's kick their ass in the second half, and let's go home. Let's send them back all the way to Texas with a loss. So, all right, this next drive, something needs to happen with this Packers offense. They need to get down the field. Yeah, and I guess when we're talking about TJ Slayton, it's not a little shoulder, man. That guy's like 335 pounds, so it's a big shoulder. It's a big shoulder there that we're talking about. All right, Houston has done a great job, especially after that first initial drive. I think they're doing a great job of stopping Green Bay's run. So I think Green Bay needs to adjust here. They need to find different ways. I mean, throwing it to Romeo Doubs has worked. And on that 3rd down play that ended up getting Jordan sacked, if it would have just been an extra second, I think Jordan would have been. He had a guy open. There's a guy coming across underneath the right around the linebacker, wide open in the middle. But Jordan, unfortunately, pressure was in his face. He had to move. Thankfully, once again, he did a smart thing. If you don't feel comfortable throwing it over the middle, just take the sack, live to, get a nice little punt, flip the field position. But yeah, both of these offenses have not been able to move the ball a whole lot. Both of them under 80 yards. And we're only 10 minutes left in this game. So Jordan under center. Throws it to Jacobs underneath for the for the screen, and he's going to get about 5 yards. No flag, no flag, no flag. And it's going to be a flag, and it's going to be illegal block in the back for the Packers. I saw it when it happened, but I was hoping they wouldn't call it. Oh, my God. Ah, ah. And that was on Romeo Dobbs. I mean, it wasn't that egregious. It wasn't that bad. I've seen worse legal blocks in the backs not called. All right. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 11 now. Jordan in shotgun. Two receivers stacked up on the right, tight formation. Reed running to the left here. Pressure. Jordan rolling to his left, throwing away from his body, and nearly able to get it to Romeo Dobbs. I feel like there might have been a little pass interference there. For some reason, Romeo tried to catch it with one hand. Oh, yeah, there's some pass interference there. You can't hold on to the receiver's hand. What? They saying that Friday night date? If Singletary is going to be able to hold his hand, better take him to a date first, okay? All right. So no pass interference call, unfortunately. So it'll be 2nd and 19. Jaden Reed in motion in the backfield. Jordan looking, and he's going to get sacked. Luckily, he was able to move up the pocket there because otherwise he was going to get hit in the end zone. So it'll be a 3rd and very, very long. Jordan a little frustrated with his receivers. Might be just frustrated with the offense there in general. So ball is all the way at the 3-yard line. It's going to be a quick pass, I believe. Quick throw to Romeo. It's going to be caught around the 14-yard line. Gain of 11, but it'll be, unfortunately, a quick 3-and-out. Couple penalties, couple sacks, a penalty and a sack really killed this drive. Hopefully, Waylon can give us some good field position here. He's been phenomenal so far, man. It's going to be a really, holy cow, great punt. Caught at the 25, breaks a couple tackles, and he's going to be inside the 40 down to about the 38. So great job by Daniel Whalen flipping the field here. I thought that was going to be somewhere around midfield, but heck of a job by him. All right. I'm going to go to the bathroom. I'm going to pee for the D so we can get one more stop here. So I'll be back. All right, we are back here, and it looks like they're about to start up. Oh, absolutely, man. Daniel Whalen has a freaking leg, man. He's been phenomenal all season long. So, first and 10, Stroud under center, ball at the 38. Receiver in motion to the left, and it's going to be a huge run up the middle by Joe Mixon. It's going to be out across the 50 down to the 45 of Green Bay. So not what you want. Gain of about 17 for the Houston Texans. And like I said, eventually this Houston Texan team is going to find space and make plays. Ball at the 45, single receiver to the right. It's going to be another run, and Green Bay does a great job holding him to just a yard on the play. Clock is at 7:20, 7:19, 7:18, 7:17, 7:16, 7:15 if you want to sync up the final handful of minutes here in this game. I expect a deep shot here at some point. I think Houston is going to try to see if Green Bay is still going to be covering the middle of the field. So 2nd and 9. It's going to be a run up the middle here. Gain of about 4 yards for the Texans. Should have been a false start there. The tight end in the backfield was moving before the snap. And LaFleur on the bench trying to figure out some way to get this offense going. After that opening drive, man, Green Bay's offense has not been able to do anything. So 3rd and 5, it's going to be a false start. Sorry, not a false start. It's going to be a penalty on the Packers there. And that'll be 3rd and very, very short there. Kingsley Enikbari a little overzealous on that one. Yeah, literally just a step too early on the snap. All right, 3rd and 1. Green Bay showing a lot of pressure here. 6 guys on the line. They send 4. They force Stroud to move, but he's going to get just enough for the first down. Gets it to Stephon Diggs, who gains 2 yards on the play. CJ, so far in this game, just 8 of 18. He's been sacked 4 times. So that just kind of tells you the day it's been. Green Bay has done a great job of minimizing his ability to be able to make plays not only outside the pocket, but just down the field. He has less than 100 yards passing. It's going to be a run up the middle, and the Packers bring down Nixon in the backfield. Loss of 2 or 3 on the play. And that was Lucas Van Ness, the second-year pro, first-round pick for the Packers last year. First guy there. And I believe Adrian Cooper was there too. All right, clock is not going to be under 5 minutes. 2nd and 11. Texans are in field goal range. It's going to be a run up the middle, nice little draw play, and Mixon able to break a tackle and a big first down, and the clock keeps rolling. Again, it's only a 2-possession game, so a field goal is enough to take the lead. And this is where those turnovers are coming back to bite the Packers, giving up 16 points off of turnovers. Another run. It's going to go down for a loss. A loss of one. McDuffie and Kenny Clark in on the tackle. Clock is around 3:30 left in this game. CJ Stroud nearly tripping and falling, and Diggs able to break a tackle but only gains an extra yard on the play. Yeah, Stroud nearly tripping and falling on in the back of the field there. Great job by the Packers just rallying to the ball. So it'll be 3rd and 10 here. All right, we're getting close to the end of this game here. Clock keeps on rolling. It's going to be at 2:45 with the Packers leading just by 2. Pressure. Kenny Clark in his face, and it's going to be, is that a catch? And that's going to be a huge catch for the Houston Texans. Gain of 11. And that's a tough one right there. Yep. Catch clear as day, and that was against Jair Alexander, man. And that'll take us to the 2-minute warning, I believe. And it is going to take us to the 2-minute warning, so we will be back. Green Bay has all 3 of their timeouts, but the big thing is the Texans are just going to be able to try to whittle this clock all the way down as far as they can and just kick a field goal, potentially a game-winning field goal. I'm right there with you, Dahlia. I'm right there with you. It can never be an easy game, man. And it was gonna be a close game, regardless, because both of these teams are very good. The fact that the Packers are still leading after 3 turnovers and basically unable to move the ball after the first initial second half drive is impressive. I think that just tells you how good this Packers defense has been. But oh man, it's been tough, man. It's been tough. I think if the Packers even just a little bit more, man, just a little bit more from their offense, either in the first half or in the second half, man, they had opportunities to win this game, and they had opportunities to win this when kind of running away. If they would have been able to score, you know, even just a couple field goals, even 2 or 3 field goals on those last couple 4 punts there, we're talking about a 2-possession game, and might be a very comfortable win, or a fairly comfortable win for the Packers here. But still got 2 minutes. They still got 3 timeouts, and who knows? We have yet to get a turnover for this very opportunistic Packers defense. and I'm expecting one here. I'm expecting them to be able to get their hands on the ball at least one time. They're going to have an opportunity, I believe. I think Stroud and this Texans team are going to want to be able to score a touchdown. All right, we are back here. Stroud under center here, single back in the backfield, full back, tight end in motion. It's going to be a run, and the Packers play it perfectly. Loss of about 2 on the play. I'm expecting them to use their first timeout, and they do. Yeah, this drive by the Texans, man, taking up over 6 minutes of this fourth quarter. Receiver in motion, Tank Dell. It's going to be a run, and it's going to be a loss. Again, a loss of about 2.5. And that is Edgerrin Cooper, the rookie out of Texas A&M, bringing Joe Mixon down in the backfield. And the Packers stopped the clock at 1:51, used their second timeout of the half. Yeah, and it's apparently pretty warm. I think it's somewhere in the 70s in this game. So so it is 3rd and 15. I'm gonna be very interested in what they do here. Obviously, run the ball, get as many yards as you can, make the game-winning field goal potentially. But they are in shotgun, tight formation, 2 receivers to his right. They're going to throw the ball here, and it's going to be incomplete. Trying to get an extra couple yards on the throw. And it'll be 4th and 15 for the Houston Texans, preserving the final touchdown for the Green Bay Packers. Should be very close, actually. Ooh. It's going to be very, very close, actually. They might review this. It looks like there's going to be no review. So it'll be a 35-yard kick. Fairbairn, one of the best kickers in the NFL. Rarely, if ever, misses something this easy. And the kick is up, and it is good. I was trying to jinx him, but it did not work. So the Houston Texans are up 22-21. Green Bay still has 1 timeout left with 1:44 here. All right. That's all you could ask for your defense. Just give us one final chance here to win this game. Again, a field goal made for the Packers on this final drive will win this game. And what a way it would end if it does. Brandon McManus, his first game as a Green Bay Packer, if they can get in field goal range, has the opportunity to win this game for the Packers. So, all right. All right, man. The anxiety is there, but it's all good. Let's go. Keyshawn Nixon out there to return it. And it's going to be in the end zone. And Green Bay we'll start out with the ball at the 25 on this huge final drive with a chance to win the game. All right, they got to get the ball somewhere inside the 40 for Brandon McManus. Obviously, he does not have the leg that he used to when he was in Denver, not only because of the the altitude, but at the same time, he's a little bit older. So Jordan in the shotgun. Jaden Reed in motion to the left. Jordan looking, throwing it deep down the field, and it is nearly intercepted. Ball was just too low. It was batted up in the air by the linebacker, then batted up by Romeo, and then finally the safety nearly got his hands on it. Heck of a play by Hewitt, the linebacker, the first guy to get his hands on the ball. Making a crazy play, man. So 2nd and 10 here, 1:39 left in this game. Houston rushing 4, quick pass. Tucker Kraft, he's going to be very close to the first down, gain of about 9 on the play. Was able to get out of bounds as well. All right. 3rd and 2, they're saying. 2 receivers stacked up on the left. Jordan looking, throw it very quickly to Dontavian Wicks, who breaks the first initial tackle and fights for extra yardage. He's going to be inside Houston territory. Clock is running, but they do have a minute and about 15 when they get this ball snapped. They still have one final timeout. Single receiver at the bottom of the screen that looks like Wicks. They have 3 bunched up on the left side. Jordan changing some things at the line. Clock is at 1:05. Shotgun takes the snap, looking, sending pressure, and quick throw to Wicks, unable to get it to him. So it'll be 2nd and 10. Clock stops at 1 minute on the dot. Once again, Jordan just needs to be smart with this. They're already at the 50-yard line. They only need an extra 15 yards here to have a legitimate chance at a good field goal. Don't try to force it. They do. They get the first down, gain of about 12. That is to Romeo Dobbs. They are inside the 40, down to about the 38, maybe the 37. Clock is at 45 seconds. 1st and 10. At the 37 here. Just get an extra 5 to 10 yards, baby. Just an extra 5 to 10 yards. Come on. Jordan taking his time a little bit. Clock is now going to be under 30 seconds. Houston sending pressure. Get the ball out. Tucker Kraft. It's going to be no gain, but there is a flag on the field. I believe it's going to be on Houston. I believe they jumped the snap here. Yes, they did. It's going to be a free 5 yards ball. The clock is stopped at 21 seconds. So 1st and 5. Ball at the 32. All right, this would be roughly a 48 to maybe 49-yard kick. So if they can get this an extra 5 to maybe 8 yards, I think it'll be a lot better. Jordan throwing it down the field, and it's going to be incomplete. 15 seconds left on the clock. Very surprised Jordan threw that ball. I mean, defender definitely got there early, but Definitely not aggressive enough for a pass interference. Very smart play by him. Ball was overthrown anyway, too. All right, remember, they still have a timeout, so they can use basically anything in the middle of the field as long as it's a decent gain. I think it would be smart. Obviously, you don't want to use that until you need to. And it's going to be a catch by Romeo. It's going to be at the first down marker inside the 30, down to the 27. It's going to be very close. They're saying maybe a drop, maybe he caught it. I don't know. We're going to see the call. Green Bay does use their final timeout. We'll see here. Romeo, did he hold on to it? Strong hands, strong hands, strong hands. Ooh. I think he had enough of the possession, and he was down on the ground long enough for it to be a catch. But it'll be interesting, though. Either way, I think if it's in an incomplete pass, I think they're going to still have roughly about 10 to 8 seconds left. And just as I predicted, just before this drive, it'll be on the leg of Brandon McManus. 3 seconds left. All right. 45-yard kick. Kick is up, and it is right down the middle, and Green Bay. Oh, no. Houston using their final timeout here to ice the kicker. Sorry, using their first timeout here, but most likely the last timeout. All right. One more time. It was right down the middle before. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Brandon McManus. Be the hero we know you can be, man. And the kick is up. And it is good. And Green Bay will escape with a huge 2-point victory here in Week 7. The new kicker, Brandon McManus, hero, making a 45-yard game-winning field goal. Holy cow. Oh. Green Bay improves to 5-2. Houston drops to 5-2. They lose their second game. And Brandon McManus, something that the Packers have struggled with all season long with their rookie kickers, making easy kicks inside the 50. Manix not only does it once, but he does it twice on the same kick to win this game. Holy cow. I'm so excited. I'm mixing my words up. It's okay because the Packers won. Let's effing go. All right, let's change this final score here. Jordan Love and that offense doing just enough in this final quarter to get a big win over one of the best teams in the NFL. And look at that. The players getting McManus up there and the fans literally pulling McManus for his first career Lambeau leap. Let's go, man. Let's freaking go. Green Bay might have just found their kicker for the year. Heck of a game, man. Holy cow. A little frustrating, but the fact that the Packers turned the ball over not once, not twice, but 3 times in the first half. And did not even get any turnovers. They got no fumbles, no interceptions on defense. But despite all that, able to do just enough to win this game 24-22 here at Lambeau Field with the whiteout warning jerseys. Heck yes. Against one of the best teams in the NFL. Freaking awesome, man. Holy cow. All right, guys. I got to get ready for the next game here, but wow. and I talked about it. Crazy if they're able to get into field goal range, it would be on the kicker. His first career game in Green Bay, with a chance to win the game. McManus, veteran, has done it before, and he does it today. Game winning, 45-yard field goal. Packers win by 2. Don't worry, we'll break this down a little bit later on in the day, probably in the Sunday night game. Heck of a game from everybody. I'm going to look at some of the scores so we can talk about those during the next game here. But hope you guys enjoyed it. Thank you so much for popping in. Dahlia, thank you. Shout out to you. Packers got a win for us. Let's go. And we will see you guys here in a couple minutes. So thank you for joining us. Once again, my name is Dave. I am not